What was the name of that band again?
For king and country, I know.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Was It Good? My name is Bob, and last night I got to see an early access showing of Unsung Hero. Now, when I first heard about this movie, I heard it was about this down on his luck music promoter.
Tell her Buster Moon is out to lunch.
No, not that one. But imagine my surprise when I did a little bit of research and watched the trailer and realized that this is a faith based film based on the real life story of the family of recording artists for King and Country and Rebecca St. James. Now, I'm not too familiar with all of the music from For King and Country, but Rebecca St. James is an artist I was definitely interested in to hear her story because I grew up in church in the 90s. And when you went to youth group during that time, you definitely heard of Rebecca St. James. So I was interested in this story right away. Now, I'm not going to give any spoilers away for this review, so if you haven't seen the movie, you don't need to worry about spoilers. But if you have seen the movie or you're interested in it, why don't you go ahead and let me know what your thoughts are? Go ahead and share your comments in the comments section below. Now, remember, these are just my opinions of the movie, so if you disagree with me, that's fine. All I ask is that when you leave a comment, let's not be disagreeable. Don't forget to hit that like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's get to it. I thought the plot of this film was well written and well executed from start to finish. Now, a quick synopsis of the film. Based on an amazing true story, Unsung Hero follows David Smallbone as he moves his family from Australia to the US in search of a brighter future after his successful music company collapses. With nothing more than their children, suitcases, and a love of music, David and his pregnant wife Helen set out to rebuild their lives. As times grow increasingly difficult, it is Helen's faith that stands against all odds and aspires her husband and children to hold on to theirs. With their own dreams on hold, David and Helen begin to realize the musical prowess in their children, who would go on to become two of the most successful acts in Christian music history. Christian films have a dual role when it comes to their purpose because they're supposed to deliver a message as well as entertain. And often the creators of these films are unable to find the right balance. And you often get a film that's overly preachy but cheesy on the entertainment level, and it just doesn't come off quite right. Now, over the years, that balance has gotten better, and I actually think that this is one of the better films as it's not cheesy at all. In fact, the film finds the right balance when it comes to delivering a message and entertaining. Now, this is a true story, and so because of that, the focus is on the family, but it's through this family that the film delivers its message on the role that faith plays in our lives. And you see how important faith in God was to this family, and because of that, you're going to ask questions as an audience: what role does faith play in our lives? And when it comes to the family dynamic that's presented in the movie, I really liked seeing how close knit this family was, and I enjoyed seeing the role that each character played in overcoming challenges, specifically Helen, as she was the glue that helped keep the family together. And as I said earlier, I was a teenager in the 90s. I went to youth group, so I was very excited to see specific things within the Christian music industry as they appeared on screen. I just kept finding myself saying, "There it is! There it is!" So the film had a very nostalgic feel for me, and I smiled every time I saw someone or something that I recognized. Overall, I thought this was a very well written film that had a very good tone, and it had the right balance in it, and yet it still delivered a very powerful message. I thought the acting was pretty good for both our lead and supporting characters. Candace Cameron Bure, who I've been a fan of since back to the Full House days, it was kind of cool seeing her on screen as she has a small role. And I also found out that she was an executive producer on this film, so it was cool seeing her on screen. Also, several of the real life family members actually made cameos throughout the film, and it was kind of cool because they actually show you at the end of the film where they were in the film. And Joel Smallbone from the band For King and Country, he actually served as a co-director and co-writer on this film, and he plays his father. I think he did a very good job because that had to be difficult to turn around and play your father at this point in his life, and I think he absolutely nailed it. Curie Lee Berger as Rebecca St. James, she's a character that I was drawn to because, again, this was somebody whose music influenced me when I was a teenager. So I was really curious to see her performance, and I thought she did a very good job. But the star of the show was easily Daisy Betts as Helen. This is the character who was the glue for the family, and the actress was able to portray a sense of hope and strong faith that her real life counterpart is said to have had. She gave me inspiration throughout her performance, and I could see the audience reacting to her performance. So she did an amazing job. Overall, the acting was very good. I was actually surprised by the look of the film as it was made on a $6 million budget and it doesn't feel like a low budget film at all. I like the establishment shots that they use to establish locations, especially towards the beginning of the film and as they're traveling to see where the family is at, as whether they're in Australia or they're in Nashville. So I think some of those shots were done very well. I like the way they were able to capture the family dynamic on screen. And at the end of the day, the movie felt like it was taking place in the 90s. There was a lot of things that I recognized. And so I think that it did a good job of making it feel like it was actually in the decade that it's set in. So overall, I think the look of this film was very good. This was a very entertaining movie for me. Now, I got to admit, I might be biased because I enjoy faith based films when they're done right. And I enjoyed seeing all the things from the Christian music scene from the 90s. So, again, I might be biased, but I did find the story of the family to be compelling, and I found myself pulling for them throughout the film. Now, was it good? Yeah, I think this was actually a pretty good movie. Again, I think it delivers a powerful message and it finds a way to be entertaining. So, this is one of the better films within the Christian genre, and I think it is worth a watch. Now, if you're still watching this long, I'd like to thank you for sticking around. Don't forget to hit that like button, share the video, and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.